Welcome to another Code Made Easy video tutorial presented by Blackstar Code Academy, where we make learning to code easy. For complete and easy to understand and detailed coding video tutorials, visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/CodeMadeEasy. Here you'll find in-depth coding instructions and lessons that are easy to understand and follow. So visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/CodeMadeEasy. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Now in today's lesson, we'll be just going over an introduction to Bootstrap. So maybe you'll be asking yourself, what is Bootstrap? Bootstrap is an HTML, CSS, and JavaScript coding framework. It's open source, and you can find out more about Bootstrap by visiting the website getbootstrap.com, where you can download the toolkit if you like. But we won't be downloading the toolkit. We'll be accessing the toolkit remotely by including some links which gives us access to the Bootstrap CDN remotely. And I'll show you how to do that a little bit later in the tutorial. We'll also need a HTML editor, and I'll be working with Notepad++. It's a free open source HTML, JavaScript, CSS editor that you can download for free from notepad++.org, and we'll be using version 6.0. So what you do is you go out to Notepad++, click on the download link, and you'll see an option for all versions. And once you've clicked on the all versions link, you just scroll down the page until you find version 6.0. And I'll be explaining a little bit later why we're using that particular version in our tutorials. So once you have your Notepad+ downloaded and installed, you'll want to open up a new page and include the links, which gives you access to all the Bootstrap resources remotely. I'll be including these links in the description right below this video, and you just go ahead and copy and paste those links into the top of your newly created page, and you'll want to save the page. So once you copy those links, you'll click on the file and then save as menu option. And what we'll do is we need to save all our work as HTML files. So you'll choose the hypertext markup extension, and that's one of the great things about working with Notepad+. You have a number of different frameworks and coding environments that you can work in: CSS, JavaScript, PHP. It's all here. But we'll be working with HTML, so you want to choose the hypertext markup language file extension type, and then make sure you choose your save and location. You just click on save. Now I've done that already, so I'm not going to go through that process. Okay, so next we want to be able to run our files in a browser. So you choose the run option from the navigation menu, and you have a number of browser types that you can render your page in. You can use Firefox, Internet Explorer, Chrome, or Safari. I'll be using Chrome. So each time that you make a change to your page, then you'll want to launch it in one of these browsers so you can review the changes. So next, what we want to do after you've created your page and you've included the links to the Bootstrap CDN, we're going to start including some code. So what we're going to do, we're just going to do something basic in this introductory tutorial. We're going to build out this page here. So what you see here is just a section, a top header section with a background color, and then just some content put into the page. Now in subsequent tutorials, we'll be building out other elements until we completely build out this page, and I'll show you how to do that in our upcoming video tutorials. So what I want to do is go back to my Notepad++ page that I have open, and I want to create a section. So I'll just go ahead and type in the word section, and I have a section tag, an opening section tag, and a closing section tag. And I've done that. Now I want to open up this tag, so I'll go ahead and space back a couple of spaces, and I'll hit enter and open up that tag, because what we want to do is we want to put divisions inside this section. And from here on out in the tutorial, I'll be referring to divisions as divs, so you know what I'm talking about. So we'll go ahead and create our first div. So we'll go ahead and enter, and then we'll do an opening div tag and then a closing div tag, just like that. And we'll open up this div as well because we want to put additional divs inside this div. So for readability and organization's sake, we'll go ahead and highlight the opening and closing div tags and tab over a couple of spaces like that. So now we want to create our second div, which goes inside this div, which is inside the section. So we'll go ahead and create our second div. I'll do an opening div tag, a closing div tag, and we'll go ahead and open up that second div like so. And we'll go ahead and create some space and for readability and organization and tab over again. Okay. Now we want to create our third div inside the second div. So we'll go ahead and create our third and final div, which we'll put in there, opening div tag, closing div tag, open up the div, and create some space as well. So there we go. So what we have is we have our section with our first div here, and then our second div, and then our final div here. So now what we want to do is we want to assign classes to our divs. So you can learn more about division classes on our Patreon page at patreon.com/CodeMadeEasy. And the first thing we want to do is assign a class of container for this first div that we have here. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and at the end of the word div, type in class equals container. Again, you can find all about division classes or Bootstrap classes on our Patreon page at patreon.com/CodeMadeEasy. So now in the second div, we'll go ahead and assign this div a class of row. So we'll go div class equals double quotations row. Okay. So now that we have our div container and we have our row. So now in the third div, we want to include the content which you see here, just this simple text that we see here. So what we're going to do is we're going to include a paragraph in that div. So we'll go ahead and use the HTML paragraph tag of P, opening tag of P, and a closing tag of P. And you can open up this tag if you like, but I'll just go ahead and just include the text inside the tag there. So I'll just do just some text in that tag. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do a Control S, or you can do a file and scroll down to save and save your work, the changes that you've made. Now what we want to do is we want to add some style so we want to get this color here, the yellow background color, as well as add some height to our section. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a method of inline styling. Now there are two different styling methods. There's a linear styling method and a non-linear styling method, both of which you can get more instruction and more detailed information by visiting our Patreon page at patreon.com/CodeMadeEasy, and there are detailed video tutorials regarding CSS styling, both linear and non-linear, as well as other video tutorials regarding HTML, JavaScript, PHP, WordPress, and a lot more. That's on our Patreon page at patreon.com/CodeMadeEasy. So what we're going to do is go ahead and add a linear styling to our section. So we'll just at the end of the word section, we'll include or type in the word style, and then followed by equal sign, then double quotes, and within our quotes we're going to include selectors and properties. So we want to use the selector of background, followed by a colon, and then we'll give it a property color of yellow. So we'll just do yellow, followed by a semicolon. Now after that we'll be adding some more styling. We'll use the property of height, followed by a colon, and we'll make that 200 pixels high. Now we'll do a Control S, like that, and save our work. Now go back over to my page. Now you see I just have a blank page. Now once I'm going to refresh the page, you'll see that all of what I just included appeared there. So there we have it. We have our section that has our background color of yellow and our height of 200 pixels, and then we have our text off to align to the left. Now what I want to do next is move this text to the center of the section. So what I'll do is use more linear styling, and I'll go ahead and on the paragraph tag is do style equals double quotes text align center, followed by a semicolon, and then Control S, and I'll go back to my front page, and we'll go ahead and refresh, and you see that the text is moving from the left to the center of the page. Now what we want to do next is move this text to about the center of the section here. So there are a couple of ways you could do that. You could apply some padding to the division or to the paragraph, but what we're going to do is just apply padding using linear CSS to the last div there. That div contains your paragraph, which contains your text, your content. So what we're going to do is go ahead and add the word style equals double quotes padding with a property of just say 70 pixels, followed by a semicolon, Control S, and we'll go back to our front page, and we'll go ahead and refresh, and there you go. So that text is moved from the top of the center of the section to the middle of the section. Now this concludes this particular video. This is just an introductory video to get you familiar with Bootstrap and how it works and what it's about, and as well as some the div classes and styling, linear styling method. Now you can learn more about all of this on our Patreon page on patreon.com/CodeMadeEasy. And I'll see you in the next video where we'll be building out the remaining sections and including elements into this page here. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I'll see you in the next video.